According to a recent study, gardening can reduce stress levels by up to 36%. If you're looking to cultivate a peaceful retreat right in your backyard, stick around as I share some game-changing gardening tips that will help you grow a thriving garden and reap the benefits of this rewarding hobby. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today, I'm excited to take you on a journey through my dream cabbage garden. If you've ever thought about growing your own vegetables, especially cabbage, you're in for a treat. Let's dig in. Here it is, my little slice of heaven. I've always dreamed of having a garden filled with fresh, crunchy cabbage, and today, I want to share how I made that dream a reality. Welcome to my garden. This is where the magic happens. I've transformed this space into a vibrant oasis filled with life, and I can't wait to take you on a tour. Today, we're focusing on my cabbage patch, but there's so much more to explore. Here, you'll see a variety of cabbages. This is the classic green cabbage, perfect for coleslaw and stir-fries. Next to it, we have the stunning red cabbage, which not only tastes great, but also adds a beautiful color to salads and dishes. And over here is the Savoy cabbage, known for its tender, crinkly leaves and slightly sweet flavor. Each type has its unique characteristics and uses in the kitchen. One of the most rewarding aspects of gardening is witnessing the growth process. Each cabbage starts as a tiny seed, and with proper care, like watering, weeding, and fertilizing, they grow into these impressive heads. It's a reminder of the beauty of nature and the effort that goes into growing our food. I've also planted some companion plants alongside my cabbages. For instance, marigolds are great for attracting pollinators and deterring pests. Not only enhance the flavor of my dishes, but also help create a balanced ecosystem in the garden. I've designed my garden in a grid layout to optimize space and sunlight exposure. Each row is carefully planned to ensure that taller plants don't shade the shorter ones. This layout also allows for easy access when it's time to harvest or tend to the plants. Healthy soil is the foundation of a successful garden. I've invested time in enriching my soil with organic matter, like compost and well-rotted manure. This not only improves soil structure, but also provides essential nutrients for my plants. Speaking of compost, let me show you my composting setup. This compost bin is a game changer. I recycle vegetable peels, coffee grounds, and even grass clippings to create nutrient-rich compost. It's a fantastic way to reduce waste and feed my garden at the same time. Plus, it's incredibly satisfying to see how kitchen scraps can turn into something so beneficial. Another important aspect of gardening is pest management. I regularly check my plants for any signs of pests or diseases. If I spot any trouble, I prefer to use natural remedies like neem oil or insecticidal soap to keep my garden healthy without harmful chemicals. Watering is crucial, especially during the hot summer months. I've set up a drip irrigation system that delivers water directly to the roots of my plants. This method conserves water and ensures that my cabbages receive consistent moisture, which is key for their growth. Overall, this garden is more than just a place to grow food. It's a sanctuary where I can unwind and enjoy the fruits of my labor. Gardening has taught me patience, responsibility, and the joy of nurturing life. I'm excited to share more tips and tricks with you as we dive deeper into the world of gardening. Stay tuned for more videos where I'll show you how to care for your cabbage, share delicious recipes, and explore the many benefits of gardening. Let's grow together. First things first, let's talk about planting. Cabbage loves cool weather, so I usually plant my seeds in early spring or late summer. I start by preparing the soil, mixing in some compost to give those little seeds a nutrient boost. Cabbage is a fantastic addition to any garden, known for its versatility in the kitchen and its nutritional benefits. Let's dive into how to successfully plant and grow cabbage. 1. Choosing the right variety. First, it's essential to choose the right variety of cabbage for your climate and culinary needs. There are several types, including green, red, and Savoy cabbage. For example, Savoy has crinkly leaves and a sweeter flavor, while green cabbage is the most common variety used in salads and coleslaw. 2. Timing your planting. Cabbage is a cool season crop, which means it thrives in cooler temperatures. Ideally, you should plant cabbage in early spring or late summer for a fall harvest. Aim to sow seeds indoors about 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date, or directly in the garden 2 to 4 weeks before the last frost. When starting seeds indoors, use seed trays filled with a quality seed starting mix. Plant the seeds about 1/4 inch deep and keep the soil moist but not soggy. Once seedlings have at least 2 true leaves, they can be transplanted into larger pots or directly into the garden. 3. Preparing the soil. Cabbage prefers well-draining, nutrient-rich soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.5. Before planting, amend your garden bed with compost or well-rotted manure to boost fertility. This will provide the essential nutrients cabbage needs to grow strong and healthy. 4. Spacing and planting. When it's time to transplant your seedlings outdoors, space them about 12 to 24 inches apart, depending on the variety. This spacing allows for proper air circulation and room for the heads to develop. If you're planting directly from seeds, thin the seedlings to the appropriate spacing once they reach a few inches tall. Water your cabbage regularly, especially during dry spells. Cabbage needs about 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week. Consistent moisture is key to preventing issues like splitting. 5. Mulching. Applying a layer of mulch around your cabbage plants can help retain soil moisture, suppress weeds, and regulate soil temperature. Organic mulches like straw or shredded leaves work well and will also break down over time, adding nutrients back into the soil. 6. Fertilizing. Cabbage is a heavy feeder, so it's important to provide it with the right nutrients throughout its growth. After transplanting, you can apply a balanced fertilizer or one high in nitrogen to promote leafy growth. Consider side dressing with compost or a nitrogen-rich fertilizer every few weeks during the growing season. 7. Pest and disease management. Keep an eye out for common pests like aphids, cabbage worms, and slugs. You can use row covers to protect young plants or introduce beneficial insects like ladybugs to help control pest populations. If you notice any disease, such as yellowing leaves or wilting, remove affected plants immediately to prevent the spread. Regularly inspecting your plants is crucial. Look for any signs of distress, and don't hesitate to take action if you notice any issues. 8. Harvesting. Cabbage is typically ready to harvest when the heads feel firm and solid. Depending on the variety, this can be anywhere from 70 to 100 days after planting. Use a sharp knife to cut the head from the plant, leaving a few outer leaves intact to protect the remaining plant. If you're growing a fall crop, be sure to harvest before the first hard frost, as this can damage the heads. Once harvested, cabbage can be stored in a cool, dry place for several weeks, making it a great vegetable to enjoy throughout the season. Planting cabbage can be a rewarding experience, providing you with delicious, homegrown produce. With the right care and attention, you'll be able to enjoy fresh cabbage in your meals, from salads to stir-fries. So, get your hands dirty and start planting today. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more gardening advice. What other vegetables are you interested in growing? Let me know in the Once planted, it's all about care. Cabbage needs regular watering, especially during dry spells. I like to use a drip irrigation system to keep things easy and efficient. And don't forget to check for pests. I use natural remedies to keep my garden healthy. Welcome back. Now we're focusing on garden care, key practices that will help your plants flourish and ensure a bountiful harvest. 1. Watering wisely. Watering is one of the most critical aspects of garden care. It's essential to moisture, especially during dry spells. Here are some tips. Water early or late. Watering in the early morning or late afternoon helps reduce evaporation and allows plants to absorb moisture effectively. Deep watering. Instead of frequent shallow watering, aim for deep watering sessions that encourage roots to grow deeper into the soil. A good rule of thumb is to provide about 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week, depending on the plant's needs and weather conditions. 2. Soil health. Healthy soil is the foundation of a thriving garden. Regularly amend your soil with organic matter, such as compost or well-rotted manure, to improve its structure and nutrient content. Testing your soil pH can also help you understand what amendments are necessary for optimal plant growth. Using a simple soil test kit, you can determine the pH and nutrient levels in your soil, allowing you to make informed decisions about fertilization and amendments. 3. Weeding. Weeds compete with your plants for nutrients, water, and sunlight, so regular weeding is essential. Here are some effective strategies. Mulching. Applying a layer of mulch around your plants can suppress weed growth while retaining moisture. Hand weeding. Regularly check your garden and remove weeds by hand, especially before they go to seed. This is most effective when the soil is moist. 4. Pruning and deadheading. Pruning is vital for maintaining plant health and encouraging growth. Remove dead or diseased branches to prevent the spread of disease and promote airflow. Deadheading, or removing spent flowers, encourages plants to produce more blooms and can extend the flowering season to minimize yield. 5. Fertilization. Providing your plants with the right nutrients is crucial for their growth. Here are some tips for effective fertilization. Choose the right fertilizer. Depending on your plant's needs, you may want to use a balanced fertilizer, or one that is high in nitrogen for leafy greens, or phosphorus for flowering plants. Follow instructions. Always follow the recommended application rates on the fertilizer package to avoid over-fertilizing, which can harm your plants. 6. Pest management. Keeping pests at bay is essential for a healthy garden. Here are some natural pest management strategies. Companion planting. Some plants can deter pests when grown together. For example, planting marigolds can help repel nematodes and other harmful insects. Beneficial insects. Encourage beneficial insects like ladybugs and lacewings, which feed on pests. You can attract them by planting flowers like dill, fennel, and yarrow. Creating a balanced ecosystem in your garden can significantly reduce pest problems while promoting biodiversity. 7. Seasonal care. Different seasons require different care strategies. Here are some seasonal tips. Spring. Focus on planting, fertilizing, and preparing your soil. Summer. Monitor for pests and diseases and ensure consistent watering. Fall. Time for harvesting, cleaning up debris, and preparing your garden for winter. Consider planting cover crops to improve soil health during the off-season. Winter. Protect your plants from harsh weather with mulch or row covers, and plan for the upcoming growing season. 8. Regular monitoring. Make it a habit to regularly check your garden for any signs of stress, disease, or pest infestations. Early detection is key to managing issues before they escalate. Keep a gardening journal to track your plant's progress, weather conditions, and any changes you notice. Documenting your garden's journey can help you learn what works best for your plants and improve your gardening skills over time. By implementing these garden care practices, you'll create a thriving environment for your plants. Look at this beauty. After a few months of care, it's time to harvest. Cabbage is ready when the heads feel firm and solid. Just twist and pull, and you've got fresh cabbage for your meals. Now that we've covered garden care, it's time for one of the most rewarding parts of gardening, harvesting. Today, I'll show you how to properly harvest cabbage for the best flavor and quality. First, let's talk about when to harvest. Cabbage is typically ready to be picked when the heads feel firm and solid. Depending on the variety, this can be anywhere from 70 to 100 days after planting. A good rule of thumb is to check the seed packet for specific maturity dates. When you squeeze the head, it should feel dense and heavy for its size. If it feels soft or spongy, it may need more time to mature. Also, keep an eye on the outer leaves. They should be vibrant and green, indicating a healthy plant. To harvest, I use a sharp knife or garden shears. I carefully cut the cabbage head at the base, just above the first layer of leaves. This helps prevent damage to the surrounding plants and allows for a clean cut. Make sure to cut at an angle to avoid leaving a stump, which can attract pests and diseases. If you're harvesting multiple heads, I recommend wearing gloves to protect your hands from any sharp edges. Once harvested, I like to remove any damaged or yellowing outer leaves. This not only improves the appearance but also helps the cabbage stay fresh longer. If you're not using the cabbage right away, Store it in a cool, dark place or in the refrigerator to maintain its crispness. Now that we've harvested our cabbage, let's cook. I'm going to show you my favorite recipe, a delicious cabbage stir-fry. It's quick, healthy, and perfect for any meal. First, we'll chop up our fresh cabbage along with some colorful bell peppers, carrots, and garlic. The vibrant colors make this dish not only tasty but also visually appealing. Heat some olive oil in a pan, add the garlic, and let it sizzle for a moment before tossing in the cabbage and other veggies. Stir-fry them for about 5 to 7 minutes until they're tender but still crisp. Now that we've harvested our cabbage, let's dive into the delicious world of cooking with this versatile vegetable. Cabbage is not only nutritious but also incredibly adaptable in the kitchen. Today, I'll share some of my favorite ways to prepare and enjoy cabbage. First up, let's talk about the classic coleslaw. It's a perfect side dish for barbecues and picnics. To make a simple coleslaw, I start by shredding about half a head of cabbage. You can use a knife or a food processor for this. I like to add shredded carrots and chopped green onions for color and flavor. For the dressing, I mix mayonnaise, apple cider vinegar, a bit of sugar, salt, and pepper. Toss everything together, and you've got a refreshing coleslaw that pairs well with almost any meal. Next, let's make a quick and easy cabbage stir-fry. I love this dish because it's so versatile. You can add whatever vegetables or proteins you have on hand. I start by heating some oil in a pan and adding sliced cabbage, bell peppers, and carrots. Stir-fry the vegetables for about 5 to 7 minutes until they're tender but still crisp. For added flavor, I like to toss in some soy sauce, garlic, and ginger. You can also add cooked chicken, tofu, or shrimp for a complete meal. Another favorite of mine is cabbage soup. It's hearty, healthy, and perfect for chilly days. I begin by sautéing onions, garlic, and carrots in a large pot. Then, I add chopped cabbage, diced tomatoes, vegetable broth, and my favorite herbs like thyme and bay leaves. Let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Welcome back to our cooking segment. Today, I'm excited to demonstrate how to prepare a delicious and healthy dish using our freshly harvested cabbage. We'll be making a savory cabbage stir-fry that's quick, easy, and packed with flavor. Here's what you'll need. 1/2 head of cabbage, sliced. 1 bell pepper, sliced. 1 carrot, julienned. 2 cloves of garlic, minced. 1-inch piece of ginger, grated. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, or any cooking oil. Optional. Protein of your choice, chicken, tofu, or shrimp. Sesame seeds and green onions for garnish. Let's start by heating our pan over medium-high heat. I'm adding the sesame oil, which gives a wonderful nutty flavor to the dish. Once the oil is hot, we'll add the minced garlic and grated ginger. Make sure to stir this for about 30 seconds until it's fragrant. Be careful not to burn it. Now, let's add the sliced cabbage and bell pepper. Stir-frying the cabbage will help it retain its crunch while cooking it just enough to soften. We'll cook this for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. Now, I'm adding the julienne carrot for a pop of color and sweetness. Continue to stir-fry for another 3 to 4 minutes until all the vegetables are tender but still vibrant. Next, we'll add our soy sauce. This will enhance the flavor and give the dish a beautiful glaze. If you're adding protein, now is the time to toss it in so it can. Now that our stir-fry is looking colorful and delicious, it's time for the final touches that will elevate this dish to the next level. First, let's talk about garnishing. I love to sprinkle some sesame seeds on top for added texture and a nutty flavor. Just a tablespoon or so will do the trick. You can toast them lightly in a dry pan for an even richer taste. Next, I'm adding some chopped green onions. They not only add a fresh crunch but also a burst of color. Just a handful, finely sliced, will brighten up the dish beautifully. Give everything a gentle toss to combine the garnishes with the stir-fry. This is also a great time to taste and adjust the seasoning. If you like it a bit spicier, feel free to add a dash of chili flakes or a splash of hot sauce. Now let's plate our stir-fry. I like to serve it over a bed of steamed rice or quinoa for a complete meal. You can also enjoy it on its own for a lighter option. Look at those vibrant colors. This dish is not only visually appealing but also packed with nutrients. It's a perfect way to enjoy cabbage and get your daily veggies in. Let's give it a try. The flavors are incredible. The crunch of the vegetables, the savory soy sauce, and the aromatic garlic and ginger all come together beautifully. And there you have it. A quick and easy cabbage stir-fry that's perfect for any weeknight dinner. I hope you give this recipe a try and enjoy it as much as I do. I hope you enjoyed this tour of my dream cabbage garden and the delicious recipe. If you're inspired to start your own garden, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more gardening tips and recipes. Happy gardening, everyone.